My joke at home is I'm cultivating introversion. It's a hard row to hoe, excuse the double pun there, but cultivating. But anyway, it seems to be working. Jenny just laughs at me. She's as if. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And when I said I wasn't talking to anyone else, a friend of mine from Brisbane rang up and she said, "What are you up to?" And I said, "I'm cultivating introversion." She laughed as well. Anyway, that's okay. So Jenny and Zoran and I had a good chat last night. Zoran was really, really not surprised at all and very happy to hear that last week went really well and that we could report that by and large, I think you all feel pretty good about it. Well, Jenny and I have projected that you all feel pretty good about it. It's over. So we normally we have some kind of formal giving out of certificates, but we just have to work that out a bit because of the other group, the other third of you, how we can do that. So just bear with us for a little bit longer. About how we do that, you can chat with us if you need to. But essentially, everything's great. We just have to work out. There's a few people who need more days made up. Remember I said part of our obligation from an accreditation point of view is not just our qualitative observations, but the quantitative achievement of a certain number of days, and we have to kind of figure out what we can get away with, in terms of attendance and makeups and stuff like that. See, bureaucracy. It's meaningful. It's purposeful bureaucracy. Yes, we will. Yes. We realise that probably... Oh, no, it's only a few days. No, people who started late or who miss weeks and weeks. Yeah, mostly because they've started late. Yeah. I think everybody knows that because they're actually doing makeups. Sorry to be vague about that. Yeah, some haven't. So, sorry, that's probably we left you a bit hanging, but because we felt satisfied, I think I probably assumed that you read our minds.
We will make it clear who was under what category and
yep.
The processes.
Yep, and then working out with the people in Sydney as well. Okay, so when I was talking with Jenny and Zoran last night, I realised that last week was it might have felt quite tight for you because of, expectations, but from my point of view, it's quite loose because we didn't get through a lot of material. So, that's about to end. None of this orange box chit-chat business. It's work. Road work, did you say? Work. I'm thinking road work. That's an interesting metaphor. So it's hopefully a slight, a smooth gear change, let's say, where we're going to begin a different series of ATMs because we finished the head circles last week. Yeah. They're pretty powerful. They're pretty powerful, and they're pretty confronting from a vestibular point of view, but also spinally, let's say. Now, you could say it's the spine, but for some people it's all about their hip joints. Some people it's all about their collarbones. For some people it's all about their, I don't know, whatever, knees, something. So you can't necessarily predict, but we can have a think about what that series is good for. So that this week we will spend a bit of time further understanding. Well, we'll follow up on a framework that Zoran, I think, was in the handouts. Sorry, I forgot to read that stuff again. I think it was he said it was in that, anyway, the target model that I think you read about. 3? No, okay, don't worry about it. The vague look is fine. I'll start from the scratch then. That might help. It's yet another framework of the way that you can look at a lesson, either an ATM or an FI, but particularly looking at in this sense that with the target that what I heard you saying last week, and I hope this is correct, is that you were starting to get an idea about the sort of relationships of one body part to another, when you're teaching an ATM, and sort of in the overall pattern of movement, like rotations and flexions and extensions, all this sort of the sort of general what's it about, but what's it actually for, like the big action, the big function, like what people take out the room, how do you pace them out the room, and end the lesson with the that is what we'll concentrate on a little bit this week. And then continuing with the neuroscience about why that's important from the brain's point of view. It's important from the human's point of view, but the human's brain's point of view, it's quite important that you do that. Interestingly, from Cliff's thesis, that's what people talked about. They talked about the impact in their lives. They didn't talk about, I really feel so much better about my right hip joint and the way it articulates with my pelvis, that sort of stuff, which we've kind of been concentrating on a little bit. But they certainly would talk about, I feel a lot more powerful in the way I approach my work. See the difference, hear the difference, smell the difference between those two. I covered everything, Jen. Touch the difference. And then, of course, you have to ask what their work is, but that's it. So we'll have a look at that from a neuroscience point of view, and we will because the series that I'd like to teach this week is in standing. Feel free to groan now, yeah, because you are now like 15-month-old. 2-year-old children, you are standing a lot. You've been sitting on the floor looking around the horizon, and now you've realised there's a whole lot better set of toys over there. That's right. Oh, yes, Jenny sent me the little baby giraffe. So cute. If you haven't seen Angela's posting on Facebook. Sue. Oh, I thought it was you. Sue Scott's. Right, sorry. I thought it was yours. Anyway. Oh, you put, yeah, the International Feldenkrais Journal. Yeah, that's Cliff's the editor for that. That's great. Good detective work. Anyway, if you haven't seen Sue Scott's posting about the little giraffe baby coming up to standing, I'd like you to have that. I'm not a Facebooky person, but Jenny sent the link to me. Have a little look because it is so cute. So cute. And so quietly determined. Have you seen it? It looks like that tripod coming up to standing, but with another leg. It's amazing. Or a bit like those old deck chairs that we used to put together. Sort of the wooden bits are going everywhere. It looked a bit like that for a while, but it sorted itself out anyway. So coming up to standing. With this series. So therefore we'll start to do some observations in standing. So we did a little bit of observation of each other in sitting and last week with the elderly citizens series. So looking at each other, looking where your weight is on each buttock and whether when you turn, you're turning on one buttock or the other buttock or somewhere in between. This week we'll look at standing, and then we'll start some quite guided FI explorations around the standing leg and the non-standing leg, if that's a possibility, a term that makes any sense. And then a bit more neuroscience-y theory, sort of la-la stuff. That's it. So there's a lot. See why am I sitting here chatting? I don't know. Lie on your back. Unless there's any questions, of course. Thought for the day? How do you know when I've cultivated introversion? Yes. Yes. Yeah. I think that's it. It's almost the definition, isn't it? Yeah. Say that again. That's the trouble. That's the worry, isn't it? That's the worry. Oh, you don't want to hear all of them, love. Let's just say that's the definition, isn't it? It's that, yeah. I really, anyway, no, I would hear my thoughts. See, I just was going to do. No. Oh, yeah. No, I know. We're all joking. But are we joking?